You like horsepower? We've got horsepower. Not only in our machines, but in what we make. We make systems for drag racing cars that allow them to produce over 2,000, upwards of 3,500 horsepower. My name's Chris Tweet. I am the owner of the Supercharger store here in Tucson, Arizona. Here at the Supercharger store, we build specialty systems for the drag racing industry, primarily what we call crank drives or front drives to mount centrifugal superchargers on. We're typically in the horsepower range of 1,500 to 3,500 horsepower, these type of system setups that we build. We also build a few little things for the hobby market, kits for older classic cars that aren't readily available off the shelf. The Supercharger store has actually been around since about 2003. It was started by an ex John Deere engineer. He wanted to do a world land speed record car and just was looking at the losses in belt-driven systems and said, we need to do something better. So he started this, and he kept that until about 2015, and he was looking to retire, and I was able to take over the business from him. We went from buying everything to basically machining almost all parts in-house now. We started looking at bringing the machining inside probably the second year in, when we just were looking at how fast the industry was changing, and if we were buying parts, we had to buy large volumes, and we were seeing a lot of dead inventory. So we thought, well, let's see if we can bring this in-house, and we started looking for machines. Wanted something super solid. Milltronics kind of rose to the top for a couple reasons. One, it was the price to rigidity of the machine and the availability of a larger size. One of the things about doing sort of custom or semi-custom work, a lot of changeovers, we do have production parts, but we change them often, is by going with the 50/20. I have 3 setups on the table at all times. So I have a 4th axis and basically a vise setup and actually a chuck setup. I make a lot of semi-round parts actually on the vertical machine. The local support was fantastic, and then just not having to deal with, constant updating and licensing and some of those things that I saw with some of the other vendors. And the rolled up base price versus a lot of add-ons. There were add-ons, everybody has add-ons, but the base price included a lot of stuff. Primary materials we cut are 6061 aluminum, 7075 aluminum, but we cut a ton of 17.4 stainless steel in an H1150 condition. The accuracy and the repeatability of the machine has been just phenomenal.
The control system on this machine was relatively easy to learn. The conversational edit made it very obvious what I was doing as I was checking numbers or changing numbers depending on what I needed to do. A feature of the machine that I like the most is the conversational edit feature. That makes it very easy for me to go back through, check the program, make sure we're not going to have any surprises. And if something's not quite right, I can get in there and adjust it. And it makes it very easy for me to figure out what I am adjusting.
The control system on the Milltronics, the control has been super easy to learn. I do all the programming in the conversational. They've been able to read that, modify it on the fly, set up the tooling. We do use the Windows interface a lot to get files on and off the network. There's been some really distinctive features in the machine and the control system that have really impressed us and has allowed us to accelerate forward. We almost exclusively use the built-in conversational language that has been super easy to learn and do pretty complicated geometries with even just minor DXF outputs from our CAD system and import it into the software. It's a great feature having the exact same control on the desktop that I have on the machine, and we bring it out here and we're 99% positive that it's going to run exactly like that. Started using a feature recently called Chip Boss within the software, and that has greatly sped up the development of more complicated surfacing or outlines and profiles of the parts. We're using it for things that it doesn't seem like it would be the most efficient way, but it's actually turned out to be very efficient. I'm incredibly proud of this team here with no machine experience. I've been around machines my entire life as an engineer, but never actually machining parts. In a few years, have been able to come up to speed and really make incredible parts very quickly and simply using the Milltronics machines.